For thousands of years, a network of trade routes stretched across Asia, connecting the great empires of the East and West. We call it the Silk Road, but it was so much more than a path for silk. It was a highway of ideas, technologies, religions, and people. But along this ancient superhighway, entire cities rose and fell, cultures flourished and vanished, leaving behind whispers and mysteries buried in the sand. Today, we're journeying back in time to uncover the lost cities and forgotten peoples of the Silk Road. Imagine caravans of camels, loaded with spices, jewels, and precious silks, trekking across vast, unforgiving deserts and treacherous mountains. These merchants didn't travel the entire length of the road. Instead, goods were passed from one trader to the next at bustling oasis cities that dotted the route like pearls on a string. These weren't just rest stops. They were vibrant centers of civilization, where cultures from Rome to China met and mingled. But where are many of these cities now? Lost to time, swallowed by the shifting sands of the Taklamakan Desert, a place whose name is often translated as "you go in, but you don't come out." Our first stop is the legendary city of Loulan, located in the fearsome Lop Nur Desert. In ancient texts, it was described as a thriving kingdom, a crucial link between China and the West. Its people were said to have deep-set eyes and fair hair, distinct from their Han Chinese neighbors. For centuries, Loulan controlled a key part of the Silk Road, growing rich from the passing trade. But then, around the 4th century AD, it vanished from historical records. What happened? For over a millennium, Loulan was just a myth, a ghost city. Then, in the early 20th century, the Swedish explorer Sven Hedin, guided by a local hunter, stumbled upon its ruins. Archaeologists unearthed a ghost town preserved by the dry desert air, wooden houses, temples, and even a sophisticated irrigation system. The most incredible discovery, however, was the Beauty of Loulan, a 3,800-year-old mummy with European features, dressed in fine woolen clothes. Her existence, and others found nearby, challenged everything we thought we knew about the early inhabitants of this region. Were these the people of Loulan? Were they descendants of an ancient migration from the West? The mystery deepens. The leading theory for Loulan's demise is climate change. The river that fed the city dried up, forcing its people to abandon their home and fade into history. Let us travel further west along the Silk Road to another enigmatic site, the ancient city of Nia. Buried under the dunes of the Taklamakan Desert, Nia was once a thriving oasis kingdom. Like a desert Pompeii, it was frozen in time when it was abandoned around the 3rd century AD. Archaeologists have uncovered remarkably preserved wooden houses, complete with furniture, tools, and even official documents written on wooden slips. These documents, written in an ancient Indian script called Kharosti, offer a stunningly detailed snapshot of daily life. They record tax payments, legal disputes, and even personal letters. It feels like you could walk into one of these houses and find the owner had just stepped out for a moment. But why did they all leave? Just like Loulan, the most likely culprit was the changing environment. The river that sustained Nia shifted its course, leaving the city without water, its lifeblood, and forcing its inhabitants to become refugees of the desert. But not all the mysteries are about cities. Some are about the people themselves. Have you ever heard of the Sogdians? They were the unsung heroes of the Silk Road. Originating from the region of modern-day Uzbekistan and Tajikistan, the Sogdians were master merchants. They weren't conquerors who built a vast empire. Their influence was economic and cultural. Their language became the lingua franca of the Silk Road, spoken by traders from Persia to China. They established trading colonies all along the route and were instrumental in spreading not just goods, but also artistic styles, music, and religions like Buddhism, Manichaeism, and Nestorian Christianity. Yet, for all their importance, they left behind no great unified kingdom. Their identity was fluid, their legacy woven into the fabric of the many cultures they interacted with. After the Arab conquests in the 8th century, their culture gradually assimilated, and the once dominant Sogdians faded from the main stage of history, leaving us to piece together their story from scattered texts and stunning artworks. One of the most profound mysteries of the Silk Road isn't about a single city or people, but about the flow of ideas. How did Buddhism, born in India, travel all the way to China, Korea, and Japan to become a major world religion? The Silk Road was the conduit, but it wasn't a simple transfer. As Buddhism traveled, it transformed. Monks carrying sacred texts braved the same dangers as merchants. Along the way, they established incredible monastic centers, like the Mogao Caves near Dunhuang. This library cave, sealed for 1,000 years, contained over 50,000 manuscripts. These texts show how Buddhist ideas blended with local beliefs, creating new and unique interpretations of the faith. The art in these caves is a breathtaking fusion of Indian, Persian, and Chinese styles, a visual testament to the Silk Road's role as a great cultural blender. Another fascinating group you might not know are the Tocharians. Mummies found in the Tarim Basin with reddish-blonde hair and Celtic-like plaid textiles have puzzled scientists for decades. DNA analysis has confirmed they were of Western Eurasian ancestry, yet they lived in the heart of Central Asia thousands of years ago. They spoke a unique Indo-European language, now called Tocharian, which is extinct. It's a linguistic island, completely unrelated to the languages surrounding it. Who were these people? How did they end up so far east so long ago? Were they a lost tribe of Celts? An offshoot of early Indo-European migrations? They represent an ancient wave of human movement that we are only just beginning to understand. They built cities and kingdoms, played a role on the Silk Road, and then, like so many others, were absorbed by later migrations of Turkic peoples, leaving behind only their enigmatic remains and a dead language. The story of the Silk Road is a powerful reminder that history is not just about great empires and famous rulers. It's about the countless, often anonymous, people who built connections, traded goods, and shared ideas. It's about the fragile relationship between civilization and the environment, where a shifting river could doom an entire city. These lost cities and forgotten cultures are not just historical footnotes. They are puzzle pieces in the grand story of human migration, interaction, and adaptation. Every new discovery in the desert sands rewrites a small part of our shared past, reminding us that there are still so many secrets waiting to be unearthed. The Silk Road may no longer be a path for silk and spices, but it remains a rich trail of mystery for us to explore. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey through the sands of time. If you enjoyed uncovering these ancient mysteries, please hit that like button and subscribe for more adventures into the past. Let me know in the comments which lost city you find most fascinating. Until next time, keep exploring.